Hello everyone, I'm Khan, and this is Prey. Starting the game off with, quite literally, unskippable cutscenes. Fucking intros, man. For prosperity's sake, during this run, I'm going to be fast-forwarding all cutscenes regarding anything story-related. It's a lot of standing around, and no one wants to see that.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
For the entire duration of this run, I'm going to be running off of a set of self-imposed limitations to make it more challenging, being a set of 7 rules. Rule number 1, the difficulty will always stay on Nightmare, I cannot lower it. Rule number 2 is that I cannot use the recycler glitch. This can be seen as exploiting and making resource management a tad bit easier, so I'm not going to be using it. Rule number 3, I'm not going to be using Nuromods. This, in turn, means that my potential damage is always going to be slashed in half, my weapon upgrades are going to be basically meaningless, and my inventory is going to be very small. I'm not going to have access to any powers whatsoever. Rule number 4, I have to go for the best ending, meaning no human kills, I have to save as many lives as possible, also meaning I have to do as much of the content as possible. I can't just speedrun it and be done with it. Rule number 5, no quick saves, I have to hard save only. This way, I don't end up save scumming throughout every encounter and going for the best possible outcome with the least amount of resources used. If I do save, it has to be before fight and not during. If I fuck up during this fight, I cannot reload. If I misuse my resources, I cannot reload as well. I have to live with the consequences of that encounter. Rule 6. No prior knowledge on any save combinations. Even if I might know the save code personally through a different playthrough, I cannot use it until I get the transcribe for that code.
Morning, Mr. Yu.
And finally, Rule 7 is the pre-order bonuses. I use everything but the recycler shielding, meaning during the cook quest I am very susceptible to the recycler charges and I have to be very well aware of where they're placed. Onto the meat. Why did I choose this game? I chose Prey for a challenge mode for a wide variety of reasons. The first one being, I played the original back in, 2008 or something like that, on the Xbox 360. I thought it was a relatively interesting game for the time, even if death was ultimately meaningless in that game. If you're familiar with it, when you die, you get this little mini game where you have to shoot some spirits going down a hole. It was bizarre. Back on topic, when I was playing casually, I found that during the beginning I was extremely weak, during the mid-game I was extremely powerful, and during the end-game I was extremely strapped on resources. What I want to do is I want to replicate that feeling of endgame of being strapped on resources by purposely limiting myself and apply it to the rest of the title. My goal here is that hopefully in theory the game is punishing enough in that Arcane designed it so that by doing a no Nuromod challenge playthrough you will find yourself very strapped for resources, very strapped on equipment because of the low inventory space, and you have to very carefully gauge and give on each encounter how much resources you want to allocate towards any particular fight, considering that stealth in this game is, quite honestly, terrible compared to Dishonored and the likes of that. But this is my thoughts on it prior to starting this run. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Arcane designed it well enough that by sacrificing Nuromods, you have more than enough resources by recycling those Nuromods and in turn anything related to them like spare parts, that you can make more than enough ammunition and gear to get by. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. But my goal here is by the end of this playthrough I'm going to fully discover what the game is like under such conditions. And the reason why I hope that Arcane did this is that the subgenre has always suffered terribly from the concept of power creep, in that the further in you get, the more powerful you become, to the point where you trivialize the content. My hope is that the developer has addressed this issue, and by doing a restricted playthrough, you will find yourself in a very tough spot. A spot tough enough that would be interesting enough to record and upload as a result. Furthermore, I would like to state that I have no intentions of doing commentary over the entirety of this series. What I'm probably going to do is do commentary for this video alone and the end video for my closing thoughts on the title. It's It's not really my style. I don't have that much to talk about, but I do respect anyone that does post-recording or live recording over their videos. It is a metric ton of work, and I quickly discovered that while making this video alone. I can't imagine doing this for an entire series. But thank you for watching, thank you for hearing me out, and I hope you enjoy this series. Buy the game, it's pretty fucking good.
No one has been able to stop the mimics from multiplying since they broke containment. I'm going to help you stay alive. Just a little further. Foyer. Grab the Nuromod you see in the display case. Normally it's a fake, but I swapped in a real one for you. The Nuromods are critical. You won't survive without using them to install new aptitudes. I've already updated your transcribe with the list you requested. Take a look. You made it. Ready for your first real view of the world? You need to get to your office. I've updated your map. There's a video you need to see. I know you have a lot of questions.
Material detected. detected.
Welcome back. This has been your home for the last 3 years. The video should be on your workstation.
Controls on workstations or keypads may result in electric shock. If you're having trouble accessing a system, please send a help alert to security.
Scanning target. No alien material detected.